37 days from now, I leave for Da Nang, Vietnam with a one-way ticket. No apartment, no real friends there, but I have made some contacts. Beginning to learn to speak Vietnamese, but I'm not fluent. I've never been to Vietnam before. This could go insanely wrong. So I made a plan. Not tips, not suggestions, my actual day by day, week by week survival playbook. Why? Because when you land jet lagged, overwhelmed, you need to know, what am I doing today versus what can wait till week 3. Let's break it down. 37 days left before I leave. My first day, I'm arriving at the airport early morning, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, provided everything's on time. There's the first roadblock we might run into. Flight delays. They're a reality. I've got to get through immigrations. I have my e-visa ready, paper copy and a digital copy on my phone. I don't have to worry about finding a Grab to get to the Monalisa Apartments where I'm staying because I pre-booked my first 10 days there. I utilize the service offered by Will from Will Travels, another YouTube channel documenting Da Nang, where he's going to meet me at the airport, get me to my hotel, and kind of show me around town for the first day or two. He's going to help me get to a local phone vendor to get my SIM card. Yes, I could buy one at the airport. However, it's very risky. There are scams where you get sold a fraudulent card that works immediately and then quits working after a day or two, and they're a little more expensive. So I will wait. I could exchange money at the airport, but again, I'm not going to get the best rate. And since Will's meeting me and helping me get the Grab into town, I will wait till we're at one of the best spots to exchange my cash or my American dollar for Vietnamese dong. Why did I choose to stay at the Monalisa? Well, it's apartment style versus a traditional hotel. It has a kitchen, has a workspace, has laundry. Mike Beach, less than a 15-minute walk. And if I like it and they have availability, I might just convert to monthly for the first few months while I'm there, getting settled in to pick the best neighborhood that meets my needs. This first day, provided I'm not completely exhausted, stop number 1, grab some food. Long flight, gonna be hungry. And you know me, this boy's gotta eat. I would love to go grab some bonnet. That is one dish I haven't been able to get here at any of the local restaurants. They just don't have it. I mean, I'd go to American Diner, get steak and eggs. It's not gonna be the same. Or we end up at Palette, and I still get a really good meal. I can't check into my hotel till later in the afternoon. So we are going to be touring the neighborhood, getting my SIM card, changing some cash, learning where the ATMs are, making sure my cards work. Because yes, in theory, I've tested everything out. Other people have said they work, but I need to make sure my cards actually work. You know, I got to send a message back home. Hey, I made it. I'm safe. I'm alive. Just so my family and friends don't worry. And I got to record a video for you guys letting you know, hey, I made it. I'm there on the ground. Probably look for Moon Milk or some other convenience store close to the Monalisa, so I got a go-to place if I need snacks, water, whatever, while I'm getting adjusted and settled in for the first couple of days. Day 2, whatever I didn't get done on day 1, like finding ATMs, testing my Schwab card, testing my Fidelity card, etc., etc. Money exchange if I wasn't able to do it. If I didn't get to the phone place, I can get my SIM card registered then. And then in the afternoon, taking neighborhood tours with Will. And again, this is if we didn't get to it the day before. Finding out the best coffee shops with Wi-Fi that I can do some work from. Looking at some co-working spaces. Top on my list right now looking remotely is probably Ace because they have 24-hour access. That is essential for me because I will be working during the night, local time, to accommodate for central time here in the US. Expand out, find bigger grocery stores. Learn where the malls are. Not going to go on day 2, but just learn and map them out. I have them on Google Maps, but how feasible is it to get from where I'm staying? How feasible is it for the neighborhood? And just wander around and explore. That's some of the best times, right? I also am going to learn where not to go. Local tips from somebody who's living there. Yeah, don't want to go to that neighborhood. Don't want to go down that street. You know, obviously enjoy the food and finish up that video about my first 24 hours in Vietnam for you guys. And of course, at the end of day 2, I will plan out what day 3 will look like. I have an outline for day 3 right now in my planner, but it may all change once I get there. Maybe there was something we couldn't do on day 1 or day 2 because it was closed or wasn't open, or, you know, whatever. You gotta have backup plans. You gotta have flexibility in your schedule. So days 3 through 10, this is my only goal for those days: apartment hunting, settling in. Why does this matter? I only have my hotel for the first 10 days. So I need to secure my housing, whether I'm going to go long-term at Monalisa or find another place or find an apartment. I need to secure that within day 6 to 8. By day 6 to 8, I need to make sure. If I don't, then I can either extend 2 more days, giving me till day 8 as a backup, or I need to start finding other arrangements of where I'm going to be staying, because the last thing I want to do is be on the street. I'm going to take a look at some of the neighborhoods. And Thuong obviously is expat heavy. There's restaurants, there's nightlife, Mike Beach. You know, that's the beach lifestyle, right? There's some local neighborhoods. There's Santra that is quieter, more of a nature, scenic area. Less expats, although there's still some there. Hoi Hai is residential, family-oriented, peaceful. But are they going to have some of the amenities that I need? My budget for looking for an apartment, I'd like to be somewhere in the ballpark of $400 to $600. I would love it to be even less than that. But does that mean I get a studio versus a 1-bedroom? I have to find something that accommodates and meets my needs. Kevin, you keep saying you got to find something that meets your needs. What are you looking for? Well, it's pretty simple. It's pretty basic, pretty easy, right? Wi-Fi. I work remotely. I need to make sure that I have a decent speed, decent connectivity, preferably not a shared Wi-Fi, because of the fact that I need to make sure that 24 hours a day I have access to do my job. That's what makes me money. I'd like to have a kitchen. Yeah, I'd do some cooking, save some money. Yes, street food's cheap, but occasionally there's going to be holidays or other times you just want to cook at home. What happens during rainy season? You might not be able to make it out. You might have to pay an upcharge to have Grab food delivery done. So why not take advantage of having a kitchen inside your apartment? I'd like to have a workspace. Like I said, I work remotely. Need a desk, a chair, decent lighting. Worst case scenario, I'll have a co-working space or coffee shops as backup. Washer or laundry service. I would love to have a dryer too, a separate washer and dryer, but I know a lot of the apartments only have a washer in them, especially in my budget. A safe neighborhood. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue in most of the neighborhoods that I'm looking at. And I need to be walking distance of food options, stores, coffee shops. Yeah, not a huge coffee drinker. I drink a lot of tea. I am going to try the coffee when I get there. I lived in Italy for 2.5 years, and I did drink coffee when I was there. Came back to the States, and coffee just doesn't taste the same. What are my backup plans? Well, if I can't find an apartment by day 8, and I'm not able to extend the Monalisa because it's full, which happens quite often, then I'm going to have to look for another option that'll allow me to do month-to-month, or even a hotel for, a few more nights, or maybe even an Airbnb. I'm not going to rush into getting the wrong place simply because I'm running out of time. I want to find something that I don't have to constantly move and move and move and move. All right, let's talk about day 7 through 10. If my apartment is secure, I'm going to be moving in. I'm going to make a Mega Mart run, which is like Vietnam's Costco, or their version of a Costco. Why? Because I'm going to have some basic needs that I need to get for my apartment. Kitchen stuff that doesn't already come with the apartment. I might need to get some other stuff. Food. Stock up on a few other things. And who knows whatever else I'm going to find there, right? Maybe take a look at my workspace. Maybe I need to get a monitor. Maybe I need to get something to set up the desk right, or maybe get a desk set up if the apartment doesn't have one. Maybe I need certain cable management, or maybe I forgot to bring a cable with me, right? So I'm going to go check out the street full of electronics vendors and just explore. Who knows? Maybe I'll upgrade a few things. I'm going to need to test everything, the Wi-Fi, the water pressure, the AC, the kitchen. And I'm going to learn about the neighborhood that is directly around my apartment. How? I'm going to walk and explore. Check out every door you're passing. What shop is there? What restaurant is there? What store is available? What do I have around my little block? Maybe expand out a couple of blocks. Check out the whole neighborhood. I need to establish some routines or some systems in place of how I'm going to function. Things like, where's my morning coffee spot? Where's the Wi-Fi and a good workspace as a backup? My grocery routine. What can I find locally in my neighborhood, or might have to make a trip to Go or Mega Mart or over to one of the malls? Figure out my laundry system. You know, am I doing it in my apartment? Am I taking it a couple doors down to a laundry service? Is the place I'm staying in have a laundry service? Because some of the places have that available to you. And obviously, gotta find the places to eat. Where's the best restaurants to go? You know, a couple weeks ago, a local bank account was on my list to consider. And after reevaluating things, I don't think it's needed any longer. So it's not going to be at the top on my priority list to go check out or get set up. You know, between Wise, Schwab, Fidelity, Betterment, Revolut, and I'm trying to think a couple others that I have as backups that either have reduced fees or no fees to pull money out of the ATM there, I think I'm good. That way I don't have to deal with any bureaucracy or any nightmares that come up, or, oh, gee, my Visa expired, but they didn't realize I renewed it and did a Visa run and my bank account gets frozen. So just keep it simple. I can revisit later if I need it. So let's talk about week 2, right? Days 11 through 14. That's where I'm going to be doing those major shopping runs. Looking at the big stores, Mega Mart, bulk buying imports, American brands if I'm homesick. The Go supermarkets, bigger variety than the local Little Moon Milk. Go over to the Lotte Mall and a few of the other malls that are there in town. Check them out, explore, see what they have for stores, what options do they have available, clothing, electronics, household goods, you name it. Just get a feel for my landscape. Why this week? Because I want to make sure my apartment's stocked. I want to know what I actually need versus what I thought I needed. And, you know, who knows? Maybe save some money if I can buy a couple things in bulk. I'm going to work on building my daily routine even further. Have my coffee shop in the morning, rotate between 2 to 3 spots to find my favorite. You know, there's definitely one that I want to check out that I've seen in several videos that's almost like a little rainforest going inside, and they have some koi ponds, but it might not be in my neighborhood, so that might not be something that becomes daily. You know, later in the day, I have to do some client work and work on a couple of the other businesses that I have. In my evening time, I'll probably be continuing my Vietnamese lessons with my current tutor on Preply. Looking to continue that 3 times a week. Practice things like ordering food, having conversations, talking about money. Yes, because that's what can make or break you if you don't know what something costs or how to ask what it costs. You know, maybe I look at finding a class or something else that's locally that I can turn around and enhance my language learning. And then obviously content creation. Why? Because you guys need to be kept in the loop of what's going on. I'm not looking for a gym right away. Why? Because I'm going to be doing a lot of walking, and that's going to be a lot of exercise that I need. And who knows? Maybe the apartment building has a pool. Maybe the apartment building has a gym. Yes, I know it's not a full-scale gym because most of them don't. Got to keep my options open. Go for walks along the beach or along the river, depending on which side I live on. Just getting out and exploring on foot. Let's talk about week 3. Exploration and the community. This is only after I secure my apartment. Why wait to week 3? I don't want to do tourist things while my main goal is to find an apartment. That's wasted time. Who knows? I find an apartment on day 3 or I'm able to extend the Monalisa. My whole plan might have to be readjusted and I can go visit several things like the Lady Buddha, Marble Mountains, hit the caves, Hoi An. Take a trip down to Hoi An. Get spun around like crazy till I puke inside a coconut boat. Bana Hills. Yeah. Get up there on that bridge. Got to go early in the morning, beat the crowd. And then obviously continue to connect with the people who I've made connections with. Either people who are going and arriving around the same time I am, a little bit before me, a little bit after me. People who have been great supporters of this channel and have reached out that have wanted to make a connection. Meet up with them, see how their transition is going, seeing if they have any insights that I missed, or maybe I have insights that I can share with them. Continuing to keep in contact with those who have been there for a while that I've made connections with. Then obviously, scope out some of the expat Facebook groups. I'm in several now, and I kind of watch what's going on. They post meetups, they have things that are going on, and force myself to get out there and just get involved. You never know who you're going to meet that is the best connection until you meet them. Can't meet them if you don't go out and get involved in the community. My language learning, I'm going to still continue my lessons 3 times a week, even into week 3. Daily practicing with ordering my food, going to the markets, learning my numbers. I'm starting to learn them now. And let me tell you, single digits, tens, pretty simple. You start getting into hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, millions, 100,000s, all of that fun stuff. Yeah, it's very interesting. But it's all simple memorization. And when I'm there using it in reality, it'll just start flowing and become a lot more easier to retain. As you hear it, as you use it and say it, and as you recognize certain words and associate their meaning in your head. My tones, they're still terrible, but I'm learning. I'm improving slowly. And I'm not going to let perfection stop the progress. I don't need to be perfect. I just need enough to communicate. I can work on perfecting it over time. Let's talk about week 4. This is the time that you're going to sit down, reevaluate, and adjust. This is our reality check. Day 22 through 30, right? We're going to ask questions like, is this apartment working? Is this neighborhood right? Was my budget accurate of $1,200 to $1,500 a month? Is it comfortable? Are things costing more than I expected? Are things costing less than I expected? Am I stressed? Am I happy? Am I regretting it? Am I lonely? Well, let's go back to the previous week. Get yourself involved. Got to do a work check. Are my clients happy? Is remote work sustainable? Is the internet reliable? Are the time zones manageable? Is my income going to be stable? Let's talk about some social checks. Have I made 3 or more real connections? Am I isolated or intriguing? Do I have a mix of Vietnamese friends and expats or just expats? Am I in an expat bubble? Am I keeping myself reserved by staying within the expat bubble? Not going to grow, not going to expand, not going to assimilate into the community if I'm not engaging the locals. Then I'm going to sit down and start planning out what should month 2 look like. Do I need to extend my apartment lease? Or do I need to move? Maybe it sounded great when I first moved in, but reality, that 3 o'clock in the morning karaoke party going on just doesn't work when I'm trying to work remotely. Do I need to explore other cities? Hoi An, Hue, Nha Trang? Start planning out my border run. Why? Because it's going to come really quick in month 3. Get over, learn where Lin Visa is. What is their process? How far in advance do I need to book? What kind of paperwork do they need? What do I have to do up front? And have everything set and ready to go. Or maybe I decide I'm not doing the bus run and I start planning a trip to pop out of the country for a week. Get a e-visa while I'm away and exploring Cambodia or Thailand, the Philippines, or somewhere else. Start planning out my content calendar for month 2. You know, what needs to change? What has to come out? What topics am I covering? Man, just all kinds of stuff. Looking at my entire plan. What am I planning in month 2 already? My first 30 days in Vietnam. Full cost breakdown. What did I learn in month 1? Would I do it again? I'm sure everybody wants to hear that. And set some month 2 goals publicly right here with you guys. Now here's the best part. All of the trolls love in our comments. What could go wrong? And what are my backup plans? Realistic fears. Can't find an apartment in time. Well, I can extend the Monalisa if it's available. I can do a month-to-month Airbnb. I can move to another hotel. I can lower my budget or raise my budget or expand the neighborhoods that I'm looking at. I am not rushing into the wrong place. What happens if I get sick immediately? Well, there's family medical practice. There's VinMac, both English-speaking international hospitals. If I enroll in safety wing insurance, then I have that as a backup. Worst case, I either fly out to someplace that I can get the treatment I need or even back here to the US. I have an emergency fund put away just for that case scenario alone. What happens if my money goes faster than expected? Well, then I cook more, less eating out. Find a cheaper neighborhood. Cut the non-essentials. Maybe I find some side gigs. Maybe I dip into my savings a little. I have a cushion just for that reason. Realistically, I don't see that happening unless I do something stupid. What if loneliness hits hard? Well, then I force myself to go to meetups. I force myself to participate in language exchange programs with other partners. Join a fitness class. That's already on my list to try and do. I've heard of some great ones that go on down at the beach early in the morning. It gives you social plus exercise. And I reach out to some of those viewers who are in the area that have commented that they want to meet up. They want to hang out. They want to talk. They want to just, have that social engagement. And then I kind of figure out the whole time zone challenge of getting in touch with family and friends back here in the States. And the big one that I know the trolls are just going to come out in full force. What if I hate it? Well, it's flexible housing. I can leave after 30 days. Flights to the U.S. are not that expensive. I can try other cities, Hoi An, Nha Trang. I can try other countries, Cambodia, Thailand, Philippines, anywhere. Yeah, I'm not restricted. I have the flexibility to work anywhere I can get an internet connection. It's a whole lot better to try and fail than wonder for the rest of your life. What would have happened if? What happens if the equipment you brought fails? My laptop dies. Well, it's a brand new laptop. I just replaced it prior to going on this trip, but I go locally and buy another one. There's electronic shops everywhere. Might it be a little more expensive? Yeah. Phone dies. Well, I'm bringing a backup phone with me. It's not the latest and greatest, earlier model, but it's a backup. It buys me some time to make arrangements to either get one shipped to me or find one on the local market. Yes, they'll be a little more expensive than buying one back in the U.S., but it is what it is. Phone could die anywhere. I could be sitting here right now and have a phone die on me. These aren't things that are abnormal that only happen there. Yet some of these trolls in the comments make it sound like, oh, your laptop will only ever die while you're in Vietnam. Reality is, technology fails everywhere. So why not make the best of it and enjoy life? What happens if the internet's down? Coffee shops as a backup. Find a co-working space. Power outages. Yeah, that could be a reality thing. I've had remote workers in multiple countries, India, Pakistan, Philippines. Power is an issue everywhere in the world. Hell, I've been on meetings and had my power here get cut out. And I've had people who have made comments. Wow, we didn't realize the U.S. had power issues too. Yeah, we get them here. You get them anywhere that you're getting power. You have the potential of losing that power for whatever reason, right? Battery backups, mobile hotspots. No different than what I have planned here for backup scenarios. So that's it. That's my plan for the first 30 days, week by week, day by day. Will it work perfectly? No, probably not. Something will go wrong. Multiple somethings probably will go wrong. But having this framework means I'm jet lagged on day 3, can't remember my own name. I can go look at this and say, oh, today I need to do this. That's it. I can do that. And when week 2 hits and I'm questioning everything, I can remind myself, week 2 is supposed to be hard. Housing decisions are stressful. This is normal. If you're planning a move like this, Vietnam, Thailand, Mexico, anywhere, make your own version of your first 30-day list. Write it down. Because when you land and you're overwhelmed, you'll be so glad that you did. And if you're in Da Nang, April 2026, comment down below. Let's grab coffee. I'll buy. 37 days left. See you in Vietnam.